Enhancing accessibility of PowerPoints. Hello everyone, I am Miracle. We are the #IDEA project team from the Faculty of Education at the University of Hong Kong. This video is about how to enhance the accessibility of PowerPoints. PowerPoints that are accessible would enable users of assistive technologies such as screen readers to process the information easily and logically. Accessible layout and content are easier to follow and ultimately benefit all users. In this video, we will cover 11 themes of essential tips that would make PowerPoints more accessible, including slide layout, content structure, inclusive content, text formatting, use of tables, use of color, audiovisual content, hyperlinks, accessibility check, presentation delivery, and file sharing. We will use Microsoft PowerPoint for illustration. The sets of commands may be different across authoring tools or computer systems, but the general ideas still apply. It is important to note that software and computer programs are constantly and rapidly developing along with changing accessibility functions. Statements in this video about the accessibility-related functions of the programs and operating systems may no longer represent their current status. Please also keep in mind that the points mentioned in this video are not exhaustive and do not guarantee full accessibility. We should always consider diverse needs of users. We also encourage you to refer to our toolkit to further explore accessibility for PowerPoints. Slide layout. Regarding slide layout, we would need to be aware of 4 things. Beginning with using built-in slide layout templates, selecting appropriate slide themes, customizing slide layout and theme using Slide Master, and giving each slide a descriptive and unique title.
Begin with using built-in slide layout templates. To start making an accessible PowerPoint, we can begin with using the built-in default slide layout templates in PowerPoint that suit your content. These layout templates have been created with basic accessible design, so it could help you build an accessible PowerPoint easier and quicker. With slide title on each slide, with default bullet points and numbered lists for text, and with pre-formatted and different placeholders. A placeholder is the container on the slide for different content such as text, graphics, tables, or video. These built-in placeholders on the slide templates would be recognized by assistive technologies such as screen readers. They would appear in the outline view. It is important because the text content appeared in the outline view can be directly exported as accessible formatted text for users' reference. Avoid adding text boxes to the slide manually. The text content in these text boxes will not appear in the outline view or be exported from the outline view. Placeholders such as text boxes and images manually added to the slides may also be ignored by screen readers. Content in these text boxes may not be identified or read aloud by screen readers. If you want to add additional text boxes that are not present in the original slide layout, you may add the text boxes by inserting placeholders in the Slide Master. We will further talk about this soon. Select appropriate slide themes. Use simple themes to enhance accessibility. Complicated themes may hinder readability. Note that not all built-in themes in PowerPoint are created with accessible designs. Be aware that the layout design suggested by the built-in function Design Idea in PowerPoint may or may not be accessible. Check whether the suggested designs are accessible. You may customize slide theme using the Slide Master. Customize slide layout and theme using Slide Master. Modify or create customized slide layout and themes using the Slide Master. It helps you create accessible slide layout and themes that suit your desired content and needs while keeping proper heading structure and reading order. To open the Slide Master, go to the View tab, Slide Master. The first slide displayed in the sidebar on the left is the master layout. Any editing made to this master layout would be applied to every slide. The slides displayed below in the master layout in the sidebar are the respective individual slides. Any editing made to any of these slides will be applied to that particular slide. Make changes in the look and style of the slides, such as font size, and background to the master layout or particular slides to meet your needs. To create a customized layout template, go to View, Slide Master, Insert Layout. A new slide will be added. Give the customized layout a descriptive and unique name. Then, insert required placeholder items. Adjust the position and sizes of the placeholder items. For example, if you want to add additional text boxes that are not present in the original built-in layout template, you may add the text boxes by inserting placeholders in the slides concerned. Do not forget to check and fix the reading order of the items in each slide. We will further talk about reading order soon.
Give each slide a descriptive and unique title. Slide titles help users navigate and select different slides. The descriptive and unique slide titles would help all users better understand the slide content structure and be clear which slide the presenter is on.
This is especially important for assistive technology users because they would navigate the slides by scanning through the list of slide titles. Descriptive and unique slide titles can help them quickly locate the slide or specific information they want. Without meaningful and unique slide titles, screen reader users may need to go through the whole PowerPoint every time they want to look for certain slides. To check whether the heading structure is properly formatted, use the Outline view. Go to View tab, select Outline view. If no titles are shown, then the slide titles are missing. To add a slide title, hover your cursor to the right of the collapsed slide and input your desired slide title. To set an existing text box as the slide title, go to the Accessibility tab, select the text box, open the drop-down menu for slide title, and select Set as Slide Title. Keep in mind that unique slide titles also help navigatability, as duplicate slide titles may confuse users. Hence, it is recommended to ensure that every slide has a unique title. If multiple slides share the same title, add remarks or numbering to each slide title to make it more descriptive and unique. Example 1. Title 1 of 5, title 2 of 5, title 3 of 5, title 4 of 5, title 5 of 5. Example 2. Title 1, Title 2, Title 3, Title 4, and Title 5. If you prefer not showing the slide title during presentation, you may visually hide it but keep it accessible to assistive technologies such as screen readers. The first method is to give a title to the slide. Then, move the placeholder for the title text above the slide. The title will disappear visually for the sighted audience during presentation. Or, you may go to the Accessibility tab, select the title text box, open the drop-down menu for the slide title and select Add Hidden Slide Title. This method would also put the title text above the slide. However, this title would still be recognized and accessed by screen readers. The title will also be present in the outline view. The second method is to select the title text box. Go to Shape Format tab, Arrange, and Selection pane. In the Selection pane, toggle on the eye icon on the right of the title item to hide it visually. Toggle off the eye icon to display it visually. Even if you hide the title in this way, the title would still be recognized and accessed by screen readers. The title would be present in the outline view.
Content structure. Regarding content structure, we would need to be aware of two things: ensuring logical reading order of the slide items, and creating lists using built-in numbered or bulleted lists. Ensure logical reading order of the slide items. Checking reading order ensures that assistive technologies, such as screen readers, will follow the intended logical sequence when interpreting the PowerPoint. Reading order is the sequence of how assistive technologies, such as screen readers, will read out the contents on a slide. Basically, the slide items would be read in the order they were added to the slide, which can be very different from the position and order that visually appears.
For example, on the screen, the contents on the left and right show the same visual order and position but different reading order. On the left, screen readers will read out the contents in a logical order, starting from the title, moving on to the first paragraph, then the second paragraph, and finally finishing with the conclusion. However, on the right, the reading order is arranged incorrectly, so screen readers will read out the contents in the wrong sequence, starting from the content table, content, title, and then finishing with the content image. To verify and fix the reading order of the slide items, go to Shape Format tab, Arrange, and Selection pane. The selection pane presents every item in the slide. Select and drag the item to rearrange the reading order. Reading order is determined from the bottom to the top as shown in the selection pane. Place the slide title at the bottom of the selection pane. The slide title should always be the first item to be read out by screen readers for effective navigation and understanding of the slides. It is important to note that screen readers read the items in the reverse order listed in the selection pane. Also note that after changing the visual position using the bring to front or center back functions in the Arrange menu, be sure to check the selection pane to ensure logical reading order. Create lists using the built-in numbered or bulleted lists. A list could facilitate reading and information processing. To format a list correctly, go to Home, Bullets, then choose the desired formatting of the numbering or bullets. If the lists are formatted in this way properly, when the author adds or removes items, the order and numbering will automatically adjust. It can save time editing. Screen readers can recognize it as a list and identify the number of items in the list before it begins to read the items. Screen readers would first read that there is a list, followed by the number of items in the list. When screen readers finish reading all the items in the list, screen readers would read the end of the list.
A. Which of the following material, S, provided the mass that made the tree grow so large? List with 5 items. 1. Soil. 2. Air. 3. Water. 4. Sunlight. 5. Fertilizers. Out of list.
Do not create lists by manually typing numbers or symbols at the beginning of each line. It may visually look like a list. However, screen readers cannot recognize them as a list. Screen readers cannot identify the number of items in the list or where to end the list. It could be confusing.
A. Which of the following material, S, provided the mass that made the tree grow so large? 1. Soil. 2. Air. 3. Water. 4. Sunlight. 5. Fertilizers.
To make the content more inclusive, we need to be mindful of inclusive language and disability representation.
Use inclusive language, avoid biased language, and consider disability representation and diversity in mind. Portray disabled people as ordinary people in society as they are. Do not create an impression of separateness, specialness, and dependence. Avoid focusing on their medical conditions.
Avoid portraying disabled people as a passive recipient of help from others. For example, a student with visual impairment being helped to cross the road, or the wheelchair of a wheelchair-using student being pushed by a fellow classmate. Portray diversity. Show people with disabilities in everyday social situations and campus environment. For example, pictures showing a group of students walking around the campus may include students with diverse characteristics to represent the inherent diversity, such as disability and skin color.
Avoid emphasizing too much on some people with disabilities who have remarkable achievements as role models through storytelling. After all, the accomplishments of people with disabilities are worth celebrating on the basis of their competency, instead of their disability status, just as it is to celebrate the accomplishments of people without disabilities.
Regarding text formatting, we should use readable text in appropriate font style. Serif fonts have small lines at the edge that may hamper readability. Some users, especially people with dyslexia, might find it hard to read decorative fonts and those whose letters are close to one another. Sans serif fonts do not have decorative lines at the edge. They are generally preferred to serif fonts. Examples are Arial, Calibri, and Verdana. Some fonts may not be available in most of the common computer systems. For example, Helvetica is a recommended sans serif font. It is available on Mac but not on Windows. Be aware that Helvetica text may or may not display as Helvetica style in different computers as intended. Avoid only decorative fonts or light fonts. Be aware of whether the word art is easily readable. Be aware that smart art requires alternative text, and assistive technologies such as screen readers may not be able to read the text on smart art. It is important to use appropriate font size. Appropriate font size can make the slide text more comfortable and easier to read. The font size should not be too small, especially if the slides will be presented by a projector. Larger fonts would be more accessible for people with visual impairment. It also helps students sitting at the far end of classrooms or lecture halls. It is recommended to use 32 points or larger for slide titles and 18 points to 28 points or larger for body text. Be aware of punctuation that visually looks similar but symbolize different meanings. Otherwise, it would make it difficult for users of assistive technologies such as screen readers to understand the content. For example, be aware of the differences between the marks of inches, feet, apostrophe, and quotation marks. Use the marks of smart quotes as quotation marks. Do not use the marks of straight quotes as the quotation marks. Be aware that some punctuation may not be read out by screen readers. For example, 8-9 p.m. is simply read as 8-9 p.m. It is suggested to use text to present important information if possible, such as 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
8-9 p.m. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Capitalizing all text is difficult for most people to read. Text with all caps or small caps may show no differences in the shapes of text, and all the text may visually appear like a single rectangle. It would particularly create barriers to some people with visual impairment and some people with reading disabilities.
Use of tables. Regarding the use of tables, we would need to be aware of two things: not using tables for layout formatting, using simple tables for data, and always specifying the header row of a table.
Do not use tables for layout formatting. Use tables for necessary data presentation only. Do not use tables just for the purpose of formatting or layout. Screen readers cannot locate any header information or make sense of the information in each cell. Although screen readers may be able to read out each cell, it cannot provide meaningful information to the readers. Even if you remove the grid lines of these table cells to make it invisible, it does not mean the table has really disappeared. You may use the built-in ruler tab marker to create columns for layout formatting instead of using tables. Go to View tab, Ruler, to display the ruler tab marker. Use PowerPoint's built-in functionality to insert tables. For a small and simple table, go to Insert tab, Table. Move the cursor over the grid until you highlight the number of columns and rows you want. For a larger and customized table, go to Insert tab, Table, Insert Table. The Insert Table pane pops up. Input the number of columns and rows you want. Select OK. If possible, consider presenting data in paragraphs with headings and avoid using tables, or consider providing both options to cater for different user preference. Do not create tables simply by either combining text boxes and lines, or the draw table function. These methods may create a visual appearance of a table. However, screen readers cannot recognize it as truly a table with meaningful structure of columns and header rows. The visual appearance of such a table may also be distorted if some users magnify the document by increasing the text size. Use the built-in function to add or remove the number of rows or columns. Do not draw grid lines manually to increase or remove rows or columns. Select a table. Go to the Layout tab of the Table Tools. Make use of the commands Insert Above and Insert Below to add rows, and the commands Insert Left and Insert Right to add columns. Select a table. Go to the Layout tab of the Table Tools. Make use of the commands Delete Columns or Delete Rows to remove rows or columns. Do not use merged, split, nested, or multiple headings. These designs make screen readers lose count of the number of rows and columns and cannot read out meaningful information from the table. It is suggested to use simple table.
Row 3 column 1 2. Individualized Education Program or Plan, IEP, column 2 30%, column 3 clo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column 4 no, row 4 column 1 3. Issues paper column 2 50%, column 3 clo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, row 3 column 4 row 4, out of table. Row 3 types of assessment tasks or activities column 1 2. Individualized Education Program or Plan, IEP, weighting in final course grade column 2 30% alignment with CLOS column 3 clo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 group work column 4 no group work column 5 row 4 types of assessment tasks or activities column 1 3. Issues paper weighting in final course grade column 2 50% alignment with CLOS column 3 clo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 group work column 4 no group work column 5 out of table.
Avoid blank cells. Screen readers may assume there is nothing more in the table. It can be confusing. You could use some text or symbols to clearly indicate cells that are intentionally left blank. For example, no data, intentionally left blank, not applicable, or missing data. Avoid inserting tables as an image into the document. Images would be potentially inaccessible to assistive technologies. If an image must be used, insert alternative text to the image of the tables to make it more accessible to assistive technologies. Provide a more detailed text description of the image of the tables if needed. Check the reading order of the table by pressing only the Tab key starting from the top left cell. Tables should follow such a logical reading order from left to right, top to bottom. Assistive technologies such as screen readers may read the information in each cell one by one from left to right and from the top to the bottom.
Table with 4 rows and 4 columns. Row 1 column 1 page 1 types of assessment tasks or activities. Column 2 weighting in final course grade. Column 3 alignment with CLOS. Column 4 group work. Row 2 types of assessment tasks or activities. Column 1 1. Online forum and class participation. Weighting in final course grade. Column 2 20%. Alignment with CLOS. Column 3 clo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Group work. Column 4 yes. Row 3 types of assessment tasks or activities. Column 1 2. Individualized Education Program or Plan, IEP. Weighting in final course grade. Column 2 30%. Alignment with CLOS. Column 3 clo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Group work. Column 4 yes.
Always specify the header row of a table. Sighted users may be able to identify row and column headers based on the visual presentation of the table. However, screen readers need the header information to identify rows and columns, so that it can count and read aloud the number of columns and rows. Then, it reads the information in each cell one by one from left to right and from top to bottom. To specify header row, highlight the header row of the table and select the option Header Row. The first row should be the column header. The first column should be the row header. Do not specify header row by manually formatting the cells and text of the first row. For example, using bold and larger text. While it may create visual appearance header, screen readers cannot identify it as truly a header.
Use of color. Regarding accessible use of color, we would need to be aware of two issues: ensuring sufficient color contrast and not using color as the sole visual cue.
Content with sufficient color contrast is easier for everyone to read. Weak color contrast would be inaccessible to some users, particularly people who are colorblind, people with visual impairment, people viewing the slides through monitors in bright sunlight or glare, or people viewing the slides through a projector display in a well-lit venue. You could use software applications to check color contrast, such as Color Contrast Analyzer and WebAIM Contrast Checker. Using the example of Color Contrast Analyzer, enter the colors of the document background and text in the analyzer. You may enter color codes directly or use the color picker. Then, the checkers will tell whether this color combination would fulfill or fail color contrast requirements based on the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. If it fails, then it might suggest that we need to consider changing the color of either the background or the foreground colors, or both. Otherwise, this color combination may not be visually accessible to some readers. After we change the colors, redo the check until you get a combination that fulfills the accessibility requirement. Check and ensure sufficient color contrast between the hyperlink text and its surrounding body text, between the text and the PowerPoint background, as well as between unvisited hyperlinks and visited hyperlinks. Here we make use of the WebAIM Link Contrast Checker to illustrate an example. Do not use color-on-color background and text, such as light blue text on dark blue background. Check whether the colored text or diagrams in the slide are properly displayed in grayscale. It is a useful and important practice because many students would print out course materials such as handouts in black and white. You may also try selecting the other color filters in the drop-down menu to view the PowerPoint in simulated color blindness situations. Fix any parts in the slides that do not present the intended meanings under color filters.
Do not use color as the sole visual cue. People with color blindness, low contrast sensitivity, or other visual impairment may have difficulty distinguishing between certain colors. Therefore, using color as the only visual cue to convey important information could hinder understanding of the PowerPoint content.
For example, a red X and a green X are used to represent compulsory lecture and optional class in the table respectively. However, some users, such as people with color blindness, may be unable to differentiate the red X and the green X. Users who print out the slides in grayscale may also be unable to differentiate the colors. To enhance accessibility, use multiple visual cues to present. Use both color and descriptive text in the table, such as compulsory and optional, respectively. Another example is when presenting data with charts. It is recommended to use color, pattern, and text labels to identify each pie section of the pie charts. Put the text labels near or directly on the corresponding pie section to enable readers to understand the chart clearly. Do not put all the text labels below the chart.
Audiovisual content. Regarding accessible audiovisual content, we would need to be aware of three issues: providing alternative text for graphics, providing accessible video and audio, and avoiding animations or flashing objects.
Provide alternative text for graphical content. Alternative text concisely describes the content and the purposes of the graphical content in brief phrases or 1 to 2 sentences. Examples of graphical content include photos, shapes, pictures, charts, smart art, and graphics. Alternative text enables users of assistive technologies to understand graphical content. When screen readers recognize an image with alternative text, screen readers will read image or graphic, followed by reading the associated alternative text.
List with 2 items. A science teacher. A STEM teacher. Out of list graphic a science teacher holding lab equipment and talking about viruses. Graphic a science teacher holding books and standing in front of the whiteboard. Graphic a science teacher holding a notepad and a test tube. List with 2 items. A science teacher. A STEM teacher. A STEM teacher.
Sighted users generally do not see the alternative text. However, when images do not load successfully, or the browsers block images by default, alternative text of that image may display to let users know what the image is about. Sighted users would also see the alternative text under this situation, even if they are not using assistive technologies. To insert alternative text, select the graphical content. Go to Picture Format tab to open the alternative text pane for inputting the alternative text. Sometimes, a description is auto-generated, but it might not be accurate. Remove this auto-generated description and input your own alternative text. Here are some tips for drafting alternative text. In general, no need to begin with phrases such as picture of or image of. Only include the informative text embedded within the graphical content in the alternative text. Use punctuation such as periods to end the alternative text. Otherwise, screen readers may mix up the alternative text and the main body text that follows. It may confuse the users. Be aware that hyperlinks in the alternative text cannot be activated or presented by link text. Graphical content that are purely for visual decorative purposes, for formatting purposes such as stylistic borders, repetitively used or do not provide meaningful information generally do not require alternative text. For descriptions of complex graphical content like charts and graphs, it is not recommended to write detailed and lengthy alternative text. You could consider providing the lengthy description using the following solutions. It would help every user understand complex graphical content, not only assistive technology users. You may consider using hidden text or speaker's notes to provide lengthy description of complex graphical content for screen reader users. It can enable screen reader users to control when and how they access the long description at their own pace. Create the hidden text by using color-on-color background and text. For example, white text on the same white background. This hidden text visually does not appear for sighted users, but assistive technologies such as screen readers could access and read aloud this hidden text. It also ensures that the hidden text will appear in the outline view. Input the lengthy description in the speaker's notes. Then, write hidden text to refer users to the speaker's notes, such as, "Please refer to the speaker's notes for the description." However, be aware that the text in the speaker's notes will not appear in the outline view. Sometimes, you may want to write the lengthy description as captions instead of alternative text, hidden text, or text in the speaker's notes. Image captions are visible to both users and non-users of assistive technologies. It would help every user understand complex graphical content, not only assistive technology users. Input the captions in any text box that is built into the slide layout. Input the captions in any text box that is built into the slide layout. Do not input the captions in text boxes that are manually added to the slide, as it may not appear in the outline view for access. Add extra text boxes to the slide using the slide master to ensure that the text will appear in the outline view. If the alternative text and captions are similar, use the alternative text to refer screen reader users to the caption, such as image caption below. Do not repeat the captions in the alternative text, otherwise, screen readers will read the same information twice. It would confuse the users.
Provide accessible video and audio. Provide captions and transcript. Consider uploading the video or audio on certain database or online media platforms such as YouTube that can generate hyperlinks for video or audio. Include the hyperlinks in the slide. The player control in PowerPoints may not be accessible to all users. the player control may work differently across different devices. With hyperlinks, users can access the video or audio at their own pace. It would also help users access the video or audio in case the embedded video or audio cannot be played properly in the slide presentations. Avoid animations or flashing objects. Do not use animation content alone to convey important information. Provide text description if needed. Animations or flashing objects may distract users from the presentation main content or the speaker. Some people who are photosensitive may feel uncomfortable with flashing content. Content that flashes more than 3 times per second may trigger seizures and other discomfort in some people.
The Trade Center's Photosensitive Epilepsy Analysis tool is a free downloadable resource for developers to identify seizure risks in their web content and software. Regarding accessible hyperlinks, we should use descriptive link text for hyperlinks. Users of assistive technologies such as screen reader users sometimes scan a list of all the hyperlinks for effective navigation and understanding. The way that screen readers read hyperlinks is link text, link, and followed by the word link.
List with 2 items. Link bullet. The developmental milestones by Department of Health. Link bullet. Kindergarten Education Curriculum Guide, EDB, 2017, out of list.
If you want to insert a hyperlink, go to and select Insert, Hyperlink. Input a descriptive and meaningful text for the hyperlink in the Text to Display command in the Insert Hyperlink pane. Enter the full URL in the address. It is important the link text is concise and gives relevant information of the action and destination of the hyperlinks. Do not simply use non-descriptive link text such as read more or click here to present the hyperlink. It is confusing as it does not provide meaningful information of where or what the hyperlinks will take the users to and when used out of context. If the link text is too long, it may visually appear to break across separate lines. Some users may misunderstand there are several hyperlinks. A long link text may also hinder understanding. If the hyperlink downloads a file, indicate the file type and the file size in the link text. Depending on the context, in general, do not embed the links using the full URL as the link text. Using the full URL as link text would make screen readers read aloud every single character of the URL, which can be confusing to the users. For PowerPoints that are intended to be presented both electronically and in print, such as students' lecture slides, you may want to retain the full URL for users' reference. The link text may include both the URL and brief description of the hyperlink's destination. Embed the short URL if possible, to keep the link text concise. For reference list items, the work's URL or DOI may be retained for users' information. The title of the work can be the link text under these situations. The difference between a reference list and the body content is that the reference list is not meant to be read from start to finish. For email, it is suggested to use the full email address as the link text. It shows the hyperlink opens email instead of web pages or documents. If the link text is contact us or email us, it would be less accessible because it does not indicate that this hyperlink is an email address. Regarding accessibility check, we could use the built-in accessibility checker to find out and fix potential issues. The built-in accessibility checker in PowerPoint can automatically detect some potential inaccessible designs, such as missing alternative text, and provide suggestions for fixing the potentially problematic areas. To run the built-in checker, go to Review tab, check accessibility. Note that passing the check does not necessarily guarantee full accessibility, but failing the check would mean there are some inaccessible features that need to be addressed. Do not solely rely on this checker for accessible PowerPoints. For example, the checker could not tell whether the alternative text is meaningful. If possible, it is recommended to go through the PowerPoint with screen readers to check the reading order of the slides. Here are some examples of screen readers. Do not use the built-in immersive reader in Microsoft PowerPoint for the web for testing the reading order and accessibility. It may work differently from assistive technologies such as screen readers.
Presentation delivery. Regarding presentation delivery, we would need to consider two issues: using simple slide transitions and using the PowerPoint subtitles option.
Use simple slide transition. Complicated slide transitions could be distracting. Use the on-click option for slide transition to allow speakers or users to go through the slide at their own pace. Avoid automatic slide transition. Users may not have sufficient time to go through the slide content. Users may need to reread the slides. Consider using the PowerPoint subtitles option.
Subtitles could improve comprehension for all users. Subtitles would be particularly important for deaf or hard of hearing people, people who use the speaker's spoken language as their second language, and people attending your presentation in noisy environments or sound-sensitive environments with audio off.
To enable subtitles while presenting, go to the Slideshow tab and tick the checkbox for Always Use Subtitles. In the Subtitles Settings drop-down menu, you can change the spoken language and subtitle language. Currently, PowerPoint can recognize Putonghua input, but Cantonese is not yet supported. You can also adjust the position where the subtitles will appear to fit the needs of your audience. When you want to respond to any questions or comments from the audience, you may first verbally repeat that question or comment before giving your response. Then, the built-in subtitles function could capture and caption the questions and comments as well for better understanding.
File sharing. When we save and share the file, we would need to be aware of 4 issues: using Outline View to check and export text content, setting document languages, editing the file information and properties, and converting to PDF by Save As.
Use Outline View to check and export text content. The content in the Outline View can be exported as rich text format with accessible text structure that would be useful for alternative format conversion such as Braille or large print. To check content in reading order, go to View, Outline View. Ensure the title and body text of each slide are displayed in the intended and logical reading order properly. Edit the text directly in the Outline View if needed. Note that the following content will not display in the Outline View: tables and graphics in the slides, text in the speaker's notes section, and text from text boxes that are manually added to the slides instead of pre-existing text boxes in the slide layout templates. Set document languages. It is important to indicate the languages within the document for screen readers to identify and read properly. To set the document languages, select and highlight the text you want to set the language for. This could be the entire document or just a paragraph depending on your situation. Go to Tools, Language. The Language dialog pane will open. In the Language dialog pane, select the language you want to set. Select OK. Repeat the procedures if you need to set another language for other parts of text in the document. Edit the file information and properties. Edit the file information, such as title, author, and keywords of the PowerPoint to facilitate users to identify and search the PowerPoint. To edit the file information, go to File and select Info. Edit the file information in the corresponding fields. Keywords could make it easier for users to search for a file. For example, instructors can add the course code or keywords related to the PowerPoint. File title could be different from the file name. The title can be a descriptive version of the file name. It could enable the PDF converted from PowerPoint to display the title in the PDF window. If users open multiple PDF files at the same time, the descriptive titles can help users differentiate and browse between the different PDF files. Convert to PDF by Save As instead of Print to PDF. Use the Save as PDF option to convert the PowerPoint to PDF to help retain the accessible designs of the original slides. Do not use the Print to PDF or Best for Printing function when exporting the PowerPoint. The PDF created in these ways would not retain the accessible features in the original PowerPoint, such as the alternative text of graphical content and logical reading order. When exporting the PowerPoint to PDF, be sure to select the option Best for Electronic Distribution and Accessibility. If you have selected Minimize Size to reduce the PDF size, be sure to repeat the preceding step, as this option might deselect Document Structure Text for Accessibility command. It is always recommended to further check the accessibility of this PDF and fix any potential issues.
Disclaimer.
This video does not contain any business promotion elements. Software, programs, and operating systems are constantly and rapidly developing along with changing accessibility functions. Statements in this video about the functions of any software, programs, and operating systems may no longer represent the current status. The recommended practices in this video are not exhaustive or the best solutions for each situation. It is possible that the hyperlinks of the cited resources in this video might be edited or removed by the corresponding contributor after publication of this video.
References. You may find the full references on screen now. You may also refer to the text version of the reference list below the video player on the webpage. Acknowledgement. This project is funded by the UGC Special Grant for Strategic Development of Virtual Teaching and Learning. The first author, Gloria Ma, would like to acknowledge the support of the postdoctoral fellowship scheme offered by the Research Grants Council of Hong Kong. To cite this video, please follow the suggested citation. This work is licensed under Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike 4.0 International. For more guidelines on creating accessible digital educational materials and virtual learning environments, please refer to our Virtual Learning Accessibility Toolkit at https://vlaccessibilitytoolkit.hku.hk or download the full text in PDF from HKU Data Repository. You may scan the QR code on screen now to visit the database. You may also download the set of cheat sheets for quick reference and sharing. You are highly encouraged to watch the other videos in this ID Leaders Self-Learning series to enrich the knowledge of the basic concepts, practical tips, and resources of enhancing the accessibility of virtual teaching and learning. Here comes to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Let's begin our journey towards co-creating accessible virtual teaching and learning.